Millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Make him work. When you get close, he can't fucking fight in the inside. Trust me. How long you been trusting me? Get close to him and just keep poking. When I say penitentiary, put that knife in him. Put him in him.
I know this, yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah, yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, now we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up from nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young rich nigga.
Separate yourself.
Yeah, I ain't playing with your ass. Nigga, I ain't playing with your ass. You chasing greatness. You got greatness talking to you. Become great. Non-stop. Keep the pace.
I'm down.
Yo, what's going on out there? How y'all doing? It's your boys, Coach Squeeze and the Rize podcast. Right back at y'all with another one. Yo. How y'all feeling, man? Happy Monday to y'all, man. Hope y'all had a blessed day at work. Hope everybody's safe. And, man, like I said yesterday, man, prayers go out to the people in Texas, man. Let's have a moment of silence for all the people that lost their lives out there in Texas, man. Let's have a moment of silence for them, man. That's going through a lot, man. It's devastating. So at this time, let's have a moment of silence for the people in Texas. Rest in peace, and may God bring y'all comfort in these tough times. Man, tough, man. How blessed we are. Let me see. All right, let me get the sponsors out of the way. 5-time world champ, 4 different weight classes. First ballot Hall of Famer, Baltimore Zone. GTD Promotions, redesigning minds one mind at a time. We know a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Shout out to www.kenichibed.com. Use code TRP. You'll get 15% off. Also, go over to www.narslipgallery.org. Go over to Damari's page. Check out his art and his merch. Future world champion in the making. Also, shout out to www.miakillerb.com. Go over to her page, support her and her merch, and then her boxing journey. Shout out to Richie Baby for the 5 intros and edits. And R.I.P. to John Boy, R.I.P. to Miss Tanya Vandross Williams Jr. Shout out to Bad Girls Promotions, featuring Miss Olivia Pope, Miss Nikki, a.k.a. Miss Olivia Pope, Coach Brandy. Keep Miss Nikki in your prayers and her healing process. Shout out to EOE, Education Over Everything, my brother movement. Shout out to Hardcore Boxing News, Full Corners Boxing featuring Maurice and Jenny Jones. Go over there every Wednesday night Support them in their podcast, 15 Rounds of Boxing. Shout out the Just Do Boxing, Ant McQueen Boxing, Stretched Out Boxing, Pro Soul Boxing Gear and Clothing Line, AO Clothing Line. Go over to his website page. Under Armour, thanks for all that you do. Don't forget to go down to 1901 Pennsylvania Avenues. Get your Sherry's Essentials 12 rolls for $7. Shout out to Miss Mona, Alan Johnson, everybody who support us. And shout out, last but not least, Official Gear Boxing. All the fighters wearing it. Y'all can say it with me in the chat. They hooked Smoothie King up with some fresh shirts. Appreciate you over there at Box Raw. Appreciate the love. You didn't have to do that. Appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Y'all can say it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Box Raw. All right. Shout out to Stretched Out Boxing, the Queen, Miss Mona, Alan Johnson. Ace is the place of the helping hardware store. Daryl Hopkins, Kareem Hassan. What's up, family? Hit that like button. Big love to all. Daryl Hopkins. Let's keep him in our prayers. Smoothie King. Right back at you with another one. I had surgery today. I'm recovering at home with the Rize podcast at GTD. Prayers go out to Daryl Hopkins and his recovery, our prayer warriors. Let's keep them in our prayers. Dorian Brown, what it do? Richie Baby, what it do? For the 5 intros. Jarrell Davis. Melody Queen 27. Salute Coach Squeeze Senior and the Rize family. Peace and blessings. Miss Melody Queen 27. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in. Please and thank you. El Rafael Boxio. Miss Melody Queen 27, best moderator in the game. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Rize Podcast to support the channel. Get your merch at the risepodcast.com. Boss Dog, what it do? All right, y'all. It's fight week. Berlanga, Shakur, Serrano, Taylor. Who wins and why? Where y'all want to start at? Who wins and why? Abdul Malik. What's good, Rize fam? We are in the building. Let's talk fashion. JBT. Salute to the big dog, Coach Squeeze. Big up to the Rize in the chat. Appreciate you, champ. Let's talk fashion. JBT community. It's fight week. What y'all think about the Berlanga fight? What y'all think about that? I think that's going to be a good one. Who y'all got? Who y'all got in that fight? I think that's going to be a barn burner. Why it lasts anyway. Who y'all got in the Berlanga fight. Shiraz, that's his name. Who y'all got? Berlanga versus Shiraz. Ha ha ha. Ralph 707, I feel you, man. He just can't get right to save his life, man. But anyway, I'm gonna take Shiraz. Ralph 707. Marshall Triggs. Rize Podcast, what it do? 3 states below. I'm gonna take Shiraz. That's who I'm taking. Yeah. Who y'all got, man? I know everybody ain't big on that fight, but it's boxing, you know. I like to see boxing, even though he ain't one of my favorites, Berlanga. I kind of like Shiraz in this one. Come on, y'all, talk to me. Who y'all like? Talk to me. All right. Let's talk about, since nobody want to rap about the Berlanga fight. Let's jump on the Shakur versus Cepeda, William Cepeda. Who y'all like in that? Look them up. You ain't gonna know everybody. You gotta look people up sometime. Gotta look them up, champ. El Rafael Boxio say Berlanga by stoppage. Luda Grind Hard. Yo, Uncle Squeeze, the Rize Podcast. Peace and blessing. What it do, Neff? See, Coach Eddie, ATL. Edgar going to sleep. I like Shiraz. Shiraz tough. He coming to scrap. Bars Doug say Berlanga. El Rafael Boxio say Shakur. Joseph Foster, I got Berlanga. 3 states below, Shakur. You gotta look, you ain't gonna know everybody. It's impossible. You gotta look people up. Watch the highlight on them. Always watch the highlight reel on them. Ralph 707, that's an easy one, man. I got Shakur. We need Shakur versus Devin or Tank. Chris Aki Bowman. If Shakur can keep healthy hands, I got him stopping Cepeda in the championship round. Showtime the guy. What it do, champ? Once again, man, thanks everybody who shout out to me for my birthday, Saturday, July the 5th. Appreciate the love, man. My guy, Showtime the guy. What it do, champ? Chris Aki Bowman say Berlanga in 8 rounds. Afternoon Sports say, what up, though, Coach Squeeze? I pray you enjoyed your birthday weekend. Yeah, I did. You know, make sure y'all go over there to Afternoon Sports say and support our sister station in Detroit. Afternoon Sports Slay. Go over there, check out. She always bringing that fire content. Alan Johnson say he got Berlanga. Luda Grindhard. Zepeda going to be throwing punches like crazy on Shakur, but need to be smart. Adam Brashear. Shiraz got a gift draw versus Adamas, but he's going to serve Edgar. I'm going with you on that one. Melody Queen 27. Smoothie King right back at you with another one. Melody Queen 27. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Rize Podcast. Cash App $GEESSUS $Coach Squeeze to support the channel. Get your merch on the RizePodcast.com. All right, y'all, let me bring him in. Y'all already know who he is. Always showing the Rize Podcast love. An advocate for the sport. Constantly growing with each episode that he come over here and share his takes on the sports. And family man, pet lover, if you know, cat lover and dog lover, if you've been watching the show, devoted to his family, and he gets it in on a workout tip. The one, the only, the incomparable, the infamidable Ant McQueen in the build.
Squeeze, what up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So who you got for your pick so far? I know I heard you picked Shiraz. I'm going with him as well.
I'm going with Shiraz.
Yeah.
Unless Berlanga catch him with something clean, and he could catch Berlanga and hurt him. He tall, rangy, he long. I ain't know he was that tall and long.
Yeah, he about
good look them up.
6'3". It's like a good 6'3". I don't know what the exact measurement on his reach is, but it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I looked them up.
They got him with a 75-inch reach.
That's long.
Yeah, man. Berlanga got the 73-inch reach. Little grind hard. Abdul Malik, what up? Alan Johnson, what up? Yeah, I'm picking Hamza Shiraz. I just think he got more versatility. And he pack a nice punch himself. We're gonna see if it move up to 68 with him from middleweight. But this guy, he's won all but 4 of his fights by knockout. Showtime the guy. Al Rafael Boxing. Yeah, so he packs a nice punch, sharp puncher. I think he's got the better feet, a little bit more versatility, inside, outside. Seen him fight a little bit on the inside versus Ammo Williams. End up stopping Ammo. That last fight, he got injured in it. A lot of people felt like Adamas got a raw deal, but he showed that he got the ability to box from the outside too and use that length you were just talking about. So I just feel like he got more versatility than Edgar Berlanga. But Berlanga, he's still dangerous. There's a good chance he could catch him with something and possibly put him out.
I'm going to take my chances with Shiraz.
Yeah, I'm taking him as well. Taking him
I
as
don't
well.
mess.
Joseph
I
Foster.
don't mess with Berlanga at all.
I think he's solid. I think he's solid.
I
Uh,
think. I think. I think he could be more solid.
I agree.
And the
I
only why I
agree.
say that, in my opinion, the only why I say that because he just don't seem fully dedicated to me to the sport for some iconic reason. When I see him talk and I hear him talk, and he just don't seem like a locked in fighter to me. I could be wrong, and if he is, his performances doesn't mimic it. That's just my opinion. I could be reaching, but that's where I stand at with Berlanga. It's nothing personal. It's just what I see and feel.
Too much
I'm being
flossing. Too much flossing. He got a lot of criticism after the Canelo fight because he had lost the fight pretty handily, and then did his victory lap, had a whole parade and all of that out there in Puerto Rico after losing the fight. And every time you see him, all the jewelry and stuff, which a lot of these guys they like to wear all the
well,
fancy things, but
well. I'm looking beyond all of that. I was talking more of his performance in the ring, how he looking from fight to fight. That's what
yeah,
I'm basing it off of. And he just don't look like he's, number one, getting better with each fight. He doesn't have a signature punch.
he got his right
Always,
hand.
but he don't look to set it up like a Deontay Wilder. That's what I would call a signature punch. To me, he'd be swinging for the fences. I'm looking for a wish me sandwich. I wish I could connect with one of these punches that I'm throwing my whole body behind.
Yeah, he's definitely not much of a trap setter, not much of a thinking man's fighter. I'll say that. I believe part of it is the development arc with him. When he came on the scene, he had 16 straight first round knockouts. So if you're in there with that level of opposition where you just blowing these guys out the water in a round and you're not getting any type of experience whatsoever, you go from that and then you get in there with a veteran guy, Steve Rolls, the fight with Angulo. He got so frustrated he bit the guy because he couldn't catch him with the shot he wanted to catch him with. He had a string of decisions, which aren't necessarily a bad thing because he needed to go to rounds, to be being frank. But to your point, we haven't really seen much progression from him. We know is he got power. That's it. And then I've seen a couple of things. Sparring sessions, one that he had with Erickson Lubin. He looked out of his depth versus him. And Erickson Lubin fights at 54. He just didn't really look too sharp. Got put down. But that's what sparring is for, is to get better. But then when you see him in the fights, it doesn't really translate. The Canelo fight, I expected him to lose, but he just looked completely out of his depth in that fight. But who
Would
knows?
you would you say that's the best he looked up to date in the Canelo fight?
No, I think the best he's looked to date was against maybe Patrick McCrory, this Irish dude he fought a couple fights ago. Maybe like a fight or two before the Canelo fight down in Orlando, Karib Royale. That was the best I've seen him look. And even that fight, he wasn't like overly impressive, but it was the first time where a guy gave him some resistance and he managed to get the stoppage. All the rest of those guys, you just walk over to him, hit him with the right hand, they lay down and fight over. You know what I'm saying? 16 straight first round knockouts.
Um, to be honest, I'm always looking at stuff from a boxer's standpoint and being in the ring, competing myself and seeing different styles and questioning myself. Squeeze, are you getting better with each time in the ring? You know, I ask myself that. I'm fixing these habits. It's important to me to fix bad habits, get sharper. If I'm not moving more, move more. If my feet ain't good, sharpen them. If my wind ain't right, build on it. Am I working? Am I setting everything up? Am I capitalizing on my opponent's mistakes? Do I see his mistakes? I'm just not getting none of that from Berlanga. It's nothing personal to me, but he has power if he catch you clean and he can knock you out. I guess it's in there. I ain't seen him sleep nothing devastatingly like he did earlier in his career with the level of competition.
No, not at all. And that's what I'm saying. It's like once he stepped up, Coach Eddie, shout out to him. He mentioned another guy, Demond Nicholson, another guy that he went in there with, Marcelo Coceres, and that's a guy that's been stopped by a number of guys who are on the rise, like Iglesias, got him up out of there. Diego Pacheco, got him up out of there. You know, so I just think that Edgar, he just don't have the creativity. He don't have the creativity, like you said. He don't set anything up. Don't really set any traps.
Well, to me personally, he could be a destroyer like he came out the first 16 fights. We know his levels to it. And as he went up to the ladder, did he digress or did he grow?
I could say in some to some degree he's gotten a little bit better, but it's just been very, very incremental.
Can you point it out? What he got a little better at? Can you point it out?
His jab, I think his jab has gotten better, but the only thing about the jab that I will point to is that he doesn't really use it as a means to set anything up. It's firm, it's stiff, but he doesn't really set anything up over it. Like when I was watching the difference between him and Canelo, the way that they were using their jabs, right? When Canelo dropped him with the left hook, he had conditioned him. He had fired the jab probably about 3 times. And then right when he got Berlanga to parry the jab, switched it up on him, changed levels, caught him with the hook. You don't really see Berlanga do things like that with his jab. Like he ain't going to use the jab to condition the opponent to get them thinking jab and then he drop a hook on them or something like that. You don't really hook off the jab, but he's got a solid jab, like fundamentally. But for me, it's just more so like the usage and the variance of it and whether or not it's a table setter or so on and so forth. Like that's the part that's missing from his game. Still, just creativity.
So from what you're saying to me, I mean, he to me it sounds like he plateaued. He peaked talent-wise because, and I'm going to say this, only because I really, really, really don't think he take boxing as serious. I think he's still in the he want to be a yo boy, a gangster type guy, tough. He want everybody to know he tough. I'm gonna be like this. If he ever go to prison or if he ever been there, it's dudes that'll knock him cold straight the hell out in prison. You know, you got some animals in there, and out there where they at, what is Rikers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Street.
You got some serious dudes in there that could show enough, use their hands and like very athletic. You know, he couldn't be. You could put Muhammad Ali in Rikers and he'd be just fine. You could put George Foreman, may rest in peace, in Rikers. He'd be just fine. Now, Berlanga, he'd make it, but he would have to face some dudes that would possibly sit him down, like get him out of there. But he tough. But I don't know about him, man.
Yeah, so I got Shiraz. I just think he's more sound, got more versatility. I think the addition of Andy Lee.
I was a big.
Who else we got on there? Yeah, Irish Andy Lee, man. Andy Lee was a good fighter.
Big Andy Lee fan. What you thinking about the Serrano and Taylor fight?
I think it's gonna be another barn burner. The first two, those were exciting fights. That last one, that cut Amanda had, that was gruesome. So I'm keeping an eye out on that one. Her damn eyelid was hanging off. I felt like she did enough to get the decision last time around. Just because I felt like she outworked Katie. I thought that Katie did some really quality work, though. She's probably a little bit more precise, but I thought that she got outworked, yo. She got outworked. And I'm assuming that the fight will probably end up going the same way once again. Like, I think it'll be real close, razor thin. First one was a split decision. Second one was a UD, but the cards was like 95, 94 across the board. So separated by a round. Yeah, I think Amanda might pull it out this time.
You think that the women is setting the precedent of how boxing, Katie, Taylor, and Serrano are setting the bar when it comes to squashing beefs in the ring and not wasting no time of getting back in the ring, going at each other, two valiant female warriors like modern day gladiators, and not waiting 3 years for the a year or two for the rematch. They getting right back in there, causing havoc. I think the women is like setting a bar.
Yeah, they scrappy, but it's always been like that. Like, what's my man? What's homegirl's name? I used to be a big fan of her too. Ann Wolf. Like back in the day, she lost to Valerie Malfood, I believe it was, and then she came back, avenged that loss. So I feel like they're just carrying on tradition, like with the chippiness and the scrappiness. Another fighter that's going to be on that card, Ramla Ali, who I'm a big fan of. She was in there with that woman, Julissa Guzman. Got clipped, got knocked out cold, came back, fought her like 4 months later, beat her by a UD. So, man, the ladies, they've been getting in the past couple of years. And shout out to Most Valuable Promotions, Jake Paul. He's giving them a huge platform. This is going to be a women's card from top to bottom. And it's going to be in Madison Square Garden in the actual garden, not in the Hulu Theater, but in the garden. 19,000, 20,000 people.
You going?
No, I'm not going.
You right
I'm
there,
gonna be
right?
watching. Yep. Probably like a 30-minute drive. Madison Square Garden. Just go through the tunnel. But I'm gonna be watching that. That's gonna be on Netflix. So I'm gonna be tuned into that on Netflix. I'm excited to see Ramla. I'm a big fan of Ramla Ali. Yeah, Damian Locke. Yeah, Clarissa probably saw us both, but Clarissa all the way up there at light heavyweight. They down there like they fighting at a catch weight, I believe, of what was it, like 136 or something like that? I believe it was 136, if I'm not mistaken. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. This upcoming fight. I gotta check the weights, but I know they fighting at like a catch weight for the 140 titles. They fighting for super lightweight. So Clarissa Shields got 35 pounds on them girls, man. She way too big. She way too big. She up there fighting all the way up at heavyweight. She's about to be fighting again soon too. She's gonna be fighting Laney Daniels. Pardon me. Salute Lewis 4500. But yeah, the ladies, they getting better and better every single year, Squeeze. They're getting better and better every single year. It's amazing. Like seeing how far women's boxing has come just from a skill and technique standpoint. I remember watching women's boxing as a kid. I've always been entertained by it for the simple fact that they let their hands go. They only got 2 minutes to work with. So you know how it is. It's almost like watching amateur fights. Amateur fights, they just throwing hands because you only got 3 rounds and you got to score points and make an impression. So the women's fights have always been exciting and action packed, but now I feel like the skill is just reaching another level. It's just reaching another level. Shadasia Green and Savannah Marshall, that should be a good fight.
Oh, Shadasia fighting?
Yeah, she fighting Savannah Marshall.
I would have liked to get her back on the podcast.
I'm rooting for Savannah. I'm rooting for Shadasia, but I'm gonna need her to let her hands go. That's the one thing about Shadasia, man. It's like Shadasia, she got power too. She pack a nice punch, but I feel like she just always looking for the perfect shot. And you know how it is with fighters like that. You looking for a single shot. You in there with a busy fighter. You mess around, you get outworked. If that shot don't present itself, that's what happened in her fight with the hard-hitting diva, Francine Cruz Dezern. She just got outworked. But Shadasia got a nice punch on her. Savannah Marshall also packs a nice punch too. She got good power. And, you know, she was being trained by Tyson Fury, dad, so she got that herky-jerky style. It was a whole lot of feinting and all that. She's a good fighter, too. Let me close this door. So I'm excited for the ladies. Like I said, the fight
so
I want to
see. Three lady fights this weekend? That card?
It's more than three.
Wow.
It's going to be a whole card from top to bottom. It's not going to be no dudes on there.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time is this the first time it's ever been done in Madison Square Garden? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. They're going to have 8 fights on this card. Shanika Johnson, she decent too. And Sharetta Metcalf, she can fight. And I'm seeing that they fighting. They got 3 belts on the line: IBF, WBC, and WBO. So they fighting for unification. Of course, you got Alicia Bumgarner on there, Jennifer Miranda.
Oh, okay.
A good one. I like Jessica Kamara. She's solid too. Her last fight was against Caroline Dubois. You ever seen Caroline fight?
The bar.
Yeah. Daniel Dubois, the heavyweight, his sister. She boxes.
I saw, but I got refreshed. I'm gonna have to do my homework on like visual homework.
She got a nice style on
The
her. She got a
beef,
nice style on
the
her.
beef. Oh yeah. Okay, I know you talking about now, but I still would like to get a refresher.
Yeah.
Alicia
But her last
Baumgartner
opponent was
gonna be on
undisputed.
there. Afternoon Sports says it say Sharetta Metcalf.
Yep. I want to see how Alicia looks because she was with Derek James for this camp. Because she was with Tony Harrison for a number of years.
Yeah.
Tony Harrison was training, but now she's with Derek James. And Derek James, he got a very distinct style. Like all his fighters work behind the jab and all that stuff. Go to the body. So I'm excited for that. That should be good. Back to the Ring 3 side of things. I'm leaning towards Subriel Matias over Alberto Puello. I'm leaning towards him. Man.
Afternoon Sports say Caroline Du Bois is nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some highlights up on her. I'm definitely gonna have to put some highlights up on, get a refresher. Yeah, so I'm glad the women getting a showcase their talent.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. And then hopefully for these ladies, it leads to other opportunities too outside the sport. And I think it could grow the sport. Get them in some Nike commercials, New Balance commercials, get them endorsements and things of that sort. Maybe some endorsement deals with Skims or somebody like that. Ramla Ali was already a model. She was on magazine covers and all that stuff. I think she was on the cover of Vogue and a couple of other things and doing fashion runways, all that type of stuff. As many ways we could grow the sport as possible, get more eyes on the sport. So shout out to the ladies. And once again, shout out to Jake Paul for building this platform. If Crawford loses, his career tarnished? Nah, it's not tarnished. I mean, regardless of what happens at this point, the man is already, a 4-division champion, 2 times undisputed. His career is not tarnished. A loss is just a loss, That's it. Can't erase the man's whole history based on one fight.
You know how they do, man. If he lose, his career tarnished. Nah. I don't know, man. People say people scared to fight people, but when people do fight people, it ain't about them losing. It's about them believing in themselves to pull out the impossible. And I think we got to give people like that, fighters like that, credit. But for other reasons, everybody got their reasons, but Canelo ain't fighting David Benavidez. I would love to see that. So Bud is picking up the mantle where Canelo has dropped the mantle, because actually Bud is the Canelo to Benavidez, like Canelo's supposed to be the Benavidez.
Yeah. Is Canelo's career tarnished? Nah, I don't think it's tarnished, especially not by him being a bigger guy, because technically, he's a guy who scaled up the weight classes. He didn't start there. If he would have been a bigger guy, but then even then, I wouldn't even say his career is tarnished. You get beat by a guy who's better on the night, then you just get beat by a guy who's better on the night. And then also Canelo's another guy where he's been a multi-division champ. He's been undisputed. Went from 147, fought as high as 175.
Damn. And nobody really talks about that.
Nah, because it's just like, he's just cherry picker.
They
and
throw that to the side from 147, 54, 60, 68, 75. Nobody gives him credit for that, which is insane, crazy. Like, in your career, so why people giving Bud slack for that? So, but you can't please everybody.
That's really what it comes down to. Regardless of what anybody does, folks are going to be ready to denigrate and scrutinize and what's the word? Land-based people, like regardless of whatever. Did you hear about the Ring 4 card squeeze in November? Yasser Ali want to know, what are the thoughts on the Ring 4 card? If you have not, I will read off the cards to you. I know we have David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. So that's one fight. We got Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes.
Ooh.
And Bam Rodriguez versus Fernando Martinez. Fernando Martinez is pretty solid, too. I was watching him today. He's a fighter from Argentina.
Oh, okay.
Down at 118. Solid fighter, but I think that Bam is going to be too quick for him, just too much. Bam got terrific feet, man. Like, just the way he creates offense with his feet, with the angles and everything. He's terrific. But me personally, what I think about the Ring 4 card, I think it's a really good card. I really do. It's another opportunity for David Benavidez to showcase his talent. Although I'm a fan of Anthony Yarde, I just think that stylistically, David Benavidez is a bad matchup for him, mainly based on just the way he's faded in the back half of the step-up fights that I've seen him in. And then when I was looking at his box rec the other day, the one thing that really stood out to me was the lapses in opposition in terms of quality opponents. Like, he would fight a guy that was like 4-38, no exaggeration, and then fight a guy like Sergey Kovalev. So it's just like up and down and up and down and up and down. He had the loss to Lyndon Arthur. His last fight to Lyndon Arthur was a little treacherous, a little bit of struggle there. And I think that he's more talented than Lyndon Arthur, so probably should have been able to just handle him. But like I said, he fades. He tends to fade. He faded versus Kovalev. Ended up getting knocked out by a damn jab because he was too exhausted to continue. And then versus Arthur Peterviev, he boxed well in the beginning, but then he just got worn down. And you know one thing about David Benavidez, he's got a very laborious style. You got to bring your hard hat and your boots with you because you got to work with that guy. You can't be out there trying to look cute. He's going to dig to your body. He's going to press you. He's going to stay in your face. Not only does he throw a lot of shots, but he places his shots well. And he's among the leaders in boxing right now in plus minus. So he's very stingy defensively as well. He doesn't really give up too many clean shots.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bad style matchup for Anthony Yard, but anything can happen because Yard does have decent power. But I just think David Benavidez is going to be too much. I think he's going to wear him out. Bam, and Fernando Martinez, another good fight. Martinez, somebody just asked me a second ago, what type of style does he bring? He's
high volume puncher.
He's not a high volume puncher, Martinez. He's not like just letting his hands go. He's pretty thoughtful with the way that he lets his hands go. But I feel like that right there can get him outworked versus Bam, because like I said, Bam is very quick on the trigger, quick on the draw, damn good feet. And I don't think that Martinez has the footwork to be able to keep up with him. I can see Bam just popping him and turning him, digging to the body, turning him, hopping out of range, get the guy to reach, come back, drilling with a counter shot. Like, I just think Bam's feet are going to give him problems, especially if it turns out to be a mid-range affair. I don't think that his feet could keep up with Bam's. But he's not a bad fighter. He's not trash. I just think that highly of Bam. But who the hell knows? This is why they got to fight the fights. Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes. I think that Sam Noakes is solid. He's sturdy. He's rugged. He comes forward. He's actually a pretty decent counterpuncher. Not the quickest guy, not the fastest guy, but a pretty steady guy. He likes to fight. He's shown that he's capable of maintaining a pace over 12 rounds, despite the fact that he's got a lot of knockouts. He went 12 with this guy named Ivan Mendy. And I thought he did a really good job of pacing himself. Abdullah Mason, on the other hand, very, very, very sharp. I think that he's been a lot more poised since the fight that we seen where he got dropped twice by Vasquez.
That dude could crack though, Ant.
He could. Yeah, like
that dude had about 20-something KOs.
About 20, I think 21 or 26, somewhere around there. It was like 21 knockouts in like 26 fights. Yeah, that dude could crack. Johan Vasquez, he can crack. He can
Was
crack.
that a big test for him? That was a big test.
I think so. Because it showed how he carried himself in the face of adversity. Like, Abdullah didn't get gun shy, but he also didn't get reckless either. I thought he handled himself appropriately. And then I also say this, in the fights after that versus Manuel Jaimes and Carlos Ornelas, I thought he did a much better job of taking those same chances, like throwing shots, but getting his head off the line while throwing the shots and being more responsible defensively while being offensive. Like, he didn't sacrifice his offense for defense. So, yeah, it was exciting. I got Abdullah in that fight, though, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Noakes was able to push him and give him a lot of resistance, because Sam Noakes is a rugged guy. So I think Abdullah's going to have to be switched on. He's going to have to be sharp. Defensively, I think he should look to come out behind his jab, work the stick, stab him to the body, soften this guy up a little bit before he goes out there and just start taking crazy chances. I think he should just beat him with skill. Don't press it.
I beg to differ with Abdullah. Abdullah last fight, the maturation period from his last fight to the fight before to his last fight was elevated, if you ask me, in a boxing sociable standpoint of view of technically, and the jab that he was throwing, Timothy Bradley said it wasn't a jab, it was a punch.
Mm-hmm.
It was a punch. And the quickness behind it, the snappiness behind it, he polished up very well. I see Abdullah getting better with each fight, which is very, very good to see from the eye. His father coaches him very well. Him and his father trade recipes, and his brothers, he say, now you tell him what you need to tell him. Now you tell him what you need to tell him. They worked so good together in that corner. And Abdullah Mason goes out and do what he told. So, Smoothie King, right back at you. Win another one. When we get in that Tank versus Roach 2 announcement. When we get it, champ, soon. That's all I could tell you. I don't know no more than you, bro.
Yep, we'll get it when we get it. But
sad but true.
He's Abdullah. He was sensational versus Nakatilla. That was the perfect fight to fight against a guy like that. Oh, Route 707 got a question for you, Squeeze. He said, what's up? And Squeeze, please do me a favor real quick, man. I got a bad habit of not sitting on my punches. What is the proper body mechanics of sitting on the lead foot and rear foot when you punch? So he want to know, Squeeze, if you could give some technical advice
I got
on how to sit down on them shots.
Not sitting down on my punches. What is the proper body mechanics? I don't know if you can see me. You might could see me. You wanna when you doing your body punches. When you doing your body punches, sitting down is a lot of people fight in the upright position, right? But when you throwing body shots, you need to sit. When you sitting down like you riding a surfboard, and when you sitting down, you rolling. A lot of people overcompensate and go to throw the punch up, but it's little subtle movements. You'll see Abdullah do this. Abdullah sit down, he'll throw the offhand up, because I'm a southpaw like Abdullah. He'll hide behind that, and he'll come up, and then he'll get out of there. Come on out of it. When he does this, sit down, come up, uppercut, and come up, you'll notice he'll get hit a lot with the overhand. So to sit down on your shots, you got to have a high guard, sit down, keep your stomach tight, tuck, roll slightly, up, roll, up. That's sitting down. Sitting down is just sitting in a little crouch, not upright. A lot of people can get taught upright because they could generate a little more, but you got some people can sit down and comfortable, and they have that agility to sit down and explode up. It's pertaining to who the fighter is. I had the Route 707 work on that a lot too. So I'm a shorter fighter, so it wasn't that hard for me to work on sitting down on my punches. So and You could practice that on the bag. High guard, sit down, 4, 5, 4, throw like 100 to 300 of them. And then when you do in a fight have to throw them, they gonna come off natural. You just can't get on the bag and throw 5 or 6 of them. You gotta do distinctive drills to muscle memory, the proper torque and twist from the hips and the waist. And you can look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is a good example of sitting down on his punches, coming out of it explode. So that's my take on, you welcome, champ, sitting down on your punches. Yeah. And then you have to be on balance. If somebody push your shoulders and you fall back or whatever, you're not balanced. So what I do a lot, I get on a heavy bag, and when I'm doing power shots, Ralph 707, I'm sitting down. Bop, I'm turning back into the bag. Bop, I'm placing the bag swinging, and I'm making sure when the bag come back, then the bag coming that way or that way, I make sure I come behind it. I follow the bag. While I'm swinging, you got to time it. Bam. Swinging. Bam. So it's timing. It's timing with that too. Yeah. And resistant bands too. Put them around your waist and stretch out and lean, shot. It's all about technique and leverage. That's the key. That's the word. Leverage. Yeah.
Man, see, now I'm going to have that visual in my mind now. The surfboard.
Could you see me when I gave the demo?
Yeah.
Could you see me clearly? Did I move the screen back enough?
No, we saw you, but the main thing was that analogy, the surfboard analogy.
Now with that surfboard,
that was a good one.
That water and your feet had to be planted, and you sitting down, and you don't know which way the wave's coming, but your core, and then you gotta have a good core to have a good base too. A lot of people don't know. A lot of that torque come from that core. You see, Mike used to do crazy core work.
Yep, the inventor of the Mike Tyson push-up. Where you put put your feet on the wall, and then kind of contract and expand, almost like an accordion.
Yeah, today I got on that heavy bag. Smoothie King, right back at you with another one. Chris Aki Bowman. Coach Squeeze is exactly right. I practice every specific punch once on the bag before even getting to my combinations. Yeah, because the day I had this hand up, throwing a hook. I kept throwing them. I threw like 100 hooks, right hooks. So now when I'm in a fight and I catch right here, I automatically, instinctively come back with that right hook. Yeah. So it depends on the fighter, man, and paying attention to your body and the body leverage and everything, man. So, we got some good boxing coming up this weekend. Do me a favor. Thanks, Michael Brown. Do me a favor. Everybody that was in here, man, smash that like button. Plus, Ant, you got to let me know where you coming on so I can put you up on the board, on the Jumbotron. Ant McQueen and the Smoothie King.
Yes, sir.
On the Jumbo. I got a little I gotta get into it a little bit more. I could put a lot up on there. Different things, fireworks, everything. I gotta figure out how to work. I got remote control with it. It was one of my birthday gifts. I say get something for the podcast to spruce it up a little bit. Yeah.
What's your pick for Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda?
I got Shakur by unanimous decision. He's not gonna be able to keep up with Shakur. Shakur definitely come in mad cardio. I never see Shakur get gas. That never been one of his problems and weaknesses is conditioning. Shakur beating a lot of people with just conditioning. If you ask me, he the closest thing I see to Floyd Mayweather when it comes to Michael Jordan, Kobe to Michael Jordan, is Shakur for me to Floyd Mayweather when it comes to peak conditioning, able to get out of harm's way time after time. That's just my opinion.
I got him by stoppage, man. I got him by stoppage.
I don't know if their hands gonna hold up.
I got him by stoppage.
I don't know if their hands gonna hold up.
I went back and reviewed. I've been reviewing William Zepeda fights. I was actually watching his fight versus Rene Alvarado before I came on here, and before that, I watched the fight that he had with Jojo Diaz. Of course, the recent fight with Tevin Farmer. He's just a little too haphazard for my liking. He's a hell of a fighter. Like, I think he's a hell of a fighter, but
who?
William Zepeda.
Oh yeah.
Hell of a fighter. And I'm talking about just like the fighting spirit. I mean, anybody that can throw 1,500 punches in a fight, that's how many he threw versus Jojo Diaz. He threw 1,536 in that fight. But he ain't scoring no knockdown, so I think his power is just a wee bit overstated.
I think his power comes from volume.
Yeah. But with his volume, he's not very deliberate. He's not very deliberate with his work, though. And I think that's the thing that's gonna get him in trouble on Saturday. And then plus I was watching videos of Shakur working on countering the jab to the body and all that stuff. His last fight versus Josh Padley, I know he's an electrician or whatever, stopped him to the body. So I think he's going to put a whole lot of sauce on those ribs, slow him down, and I think it's going to be one of those accumulation type of TKOs. I think he's going to stop him that way. I don't think he's going to spark him out or nothing like that, but I think he's going to just wear him out, let go of barrage of punch, nice little flurry, Sugar Ray Leonard style, and they're going to have to jump in and wave it off.
He just got too many tangibles for William Zepeda. But I give William Zepeda a puncher's chance. It's plausible if he could get to Shakur's body and slow those legs up. That's his only hope. Get to the branches on the tree and stop him from shaking. If you don't stop them branches from blowing in the wind, hit that tree in the base, he don't stand a chance.
I don't think so. And he don't really appear to have much on that backhand either, Squeeze. And he got a lot on his backhand because, he's a converted southpaw.
And loading up ain't going to help neither because he going to see them punches coming miles away.
Yeah. But he's a hell of a fighter, though. Like, that guy is one of them dudes where every time he goes into the ring, he brings it. He goes for the gusto. But I think that's going to I think that's going to be his undoing. We also got Puello and Matias. I like Alberto Puello, but if he's not willing enough to be physical, if he's not willing to be physical enough with Matias, I think at some point in that fight is going to turn, maybe around 5 or 6. Because I've seen a couple of guys that's try to evade or elude Matias just with their legs. And then once he started placing little shots to the body, because that dude is very heavy-handed. He got 100% knockout ratio. He's 16-2, but he won all 16 of his fights by knockout or by stoppage. And then he had that string where he had, I think it was like 5 or 6 guys retired on their stool. R.I.P. to Maxim Dedishev. He died after the fight with Matias. So he's a grind you down type of fighter. And I think that Puello's got good skills. He's solid from the outside, but his inside game is kind of shaky. I seen the way he was getting worked by what is homie's name? From Spain.
You know what?
Sandor Martin.
It
Yeah,
would
Puello
be.
don't really have much of an inside game.
We gonna do a spinoff podcast, film study with Ant McQueen and the Smoothie King. That's the name of it. Gonna be film study, and be able to stop, fast forward, rewind, play, and break it down round by round, blow by blow, and size up length, height, agility. If people don't know, it's just so much that goes into this boxing. You know, it's just a lot involved when you get in depthly into the sport. But thanks everybody for Heather E. Appreciate you. She say I'll subscribe. Yeah, Ralph 707 say that would be ducking dope. Yeah,
That's what I be doing on my what's the name, man, until them people come and try to shut me down. That's
I know, yo.
That's why I always say my channel is like the ghetto of YouTube, because I be playing stuff. I'm like, listen, man, we gonna watch this stuff. I don't even really care.
I know, man.
And all that.
If we could get authorization and rights from and hook up with them, and you know, we get compensated and paid for breaking down their content and giving the people a clear view on the film study room with Ant McQueen and the Smoothie King. That would be, like he say, dope. That would be dope. Break down certain fighters, their strong points, what they do good, what's their weak points, how they can win, who imposes, who will. But yeah, man, great show.
A whole lot, like you said, though, Squeeze, because like one thing I was noticing, right, with the Bud versus Madrimov fight, like a lot of people felt like it was like this real hard struggle. But one thing I noticed was how quickly Bud picked up on Madrimov's rhythm. He fights in a very specific rhythm where it's like with his footwork, right? Like he's got that bounce. It's almost kind of like a pendulum. But every time before he throws a punch, his lead foot comes back and then it goes back out. He does that damn near every time before he throws a punch. That's the rhythm he fights in. The lead foot comes in, then it goes back out. But then every time
he's not gonna have to worry about that movement with Canelo.
Nah. See, but then
you got Canelo's different
back to front though.
Canelo gonna be sitting there for him. We know what Canelo doing. He planting and he coming forward. I can't hear you.
I was saying Canelo, when he comes forward, it's back to front. He goes back, front, back, like Joe Frazier. Because he's spring loading. Because you know Canelo loved to throw that left hook. But then another thing with Canelo, what I was noticing with him is a lot of times when he throws his right hand, he always probes twice. It's like 2 probes. He'll probe, then he'll throw the right hand. Quite a few of these guys, they got like very specific things that they do. And I feel like the guys that are most versatile, those are the ones who don't necessarily have to fight in any particular rhythm, or they're able to break their rhythm. But some of them guys like a Madrimov, where he fights in a specific rhythm, you got some guys that they're either not sharp enough, they don't have the acuity to pick up on what he's doing, or they don't have the athleticism to be able to time what he's doing. You know what I mean? But like with Bud, it was like every time that lead foot came back and then it went back out, Bud just, boom, just dropped a jab on him, forced him to reset. I was like, man, this guy is sharp to be able to pick up on that within half a round of the fight.
Yeah. But closing arguments, man.
Same as always, small things, all things. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. Always a pleasure being on here with you with Squeeze, man. Shout out to my man Senior. Always hit me up with the link, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Heather E, Milton Dooley, Wall Street Only. Route 707, Heather E, Boxes, Jaguar, Melanin Queen, the greatest mod in all of the land. Let me hit y'all off with, you know what I'm saying, some of them special effects real quick. Peace.
All right, Ant. All right, man. Another great show. You see, I was on here with the Wizard. He always bringing his boxing knowledge, man. We keep it classy over here, man. And you know what I mean? We see things different out of a different spectrum. That's what I like. We don't always see things the same way, which is cool. And we just, that's what we do, you know. There's no love lost, and we'll see each other at the finish line. But thanks everybody for coming in. Heather E, good seeing you in the chat. God bless you, Queen. And make sure to like and subscribe to the Rize Podcast to support the channel. Get your merch at therizepodcast.com. Everybody that came in, man, do me a favor. We got to get these numbers up. Smash the like button and subscribe to the Rize Podcast. And as we always say, it's the Smoothie King, All Access International, the Bible, Coach Calvin, and Aunt McQueen. Right back at y'all with another one. Be safe out there. Stay prayed up and humble. Peace.
Some say you forgive, but don't forget it. Now you know how we do. Lock that back door, don't let no one through. I told Michi in these streets ain't no rules. He say, cause all this life we ain't over this. Yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah, yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, then we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up for nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young rich nigga.